Godzilla X Kong New Empire. Some are calling it the movie of all time. Oh, let's just get into it, huh? So, Godzilla X Kong New Empire was directed by Adam Wingard, and within this movie, Godzilla and the almighty Kong face a colossal threat hidden deep within the planet, challenging their very existence and the survival of the human race. Wow! So, I may have seen the first one, but I can't remember. The other one came out in 2021, and it was Godzilla vs. Kong, and this is in that same universe. Let's just say, get your money's worth. Kinda. So within this movie, there's like so many different plots and themes going on. I felt like I was watching 7 different movies in one. I don't want to knock this thing because I know it's not supposed to be taken seriously, and obviously it isn't taking itself too seriously either. Kind of reminds me of the Fast and Furious franchise when they're jumping off bridges with cars, blowing up buildings and all that. This just takes that to another level. When we start this movie, Kong's in kind of like a midlife crisis. He's feeling kind of lonely. But then also, we're introduced to a character, which you may have seen on Twitter, Baby Kong. So it's kind of like a Baby Yoda play. They pretty much pulled out every trick in the book for this movie. But it doesn't like spend too much time with any plot point. Like it just kind of moves along super quick at a super fast rate. And then at the same time, you got Godzilla on the other hand, just fucking shit up. He's like sleeping within the Colosseum. The Colosseum is like his nest in Italy. I guess it's not an issue that he's just like destroying buildings on the regular, like as long as Kong and him aren't fighting each other up on the surface. But Godzilla is just kind of a menace, and we don't spend a lot of time with him. This is a very Kong-centered movie. If you're looking for a lot of Godzilla, this isn't the movie for you. So this brings me to the CGI. Holy shit. A lot of CGI, which is expected. Shout out to these visual effect artists. They had their hands full with this one. It's very Transformers-like, a lot of destruction, a lot of fighting. That's what you're looking for if you go to a movie like this. Throughout the whole movie, there might have been 50 different countries displayed in this movie, which I don't even know how they shot this thing. Like, it had to be all computer generated, but there's some funny moments. I will say Godzilla, I didn't think it was as good as the CGI done for Godzilla -1. That one was more real, believable. This one's more the Avengers version, the superhero version. This is basically a superhero movie, but it's got Kong and Godzilla in it. So one thing I want to say that stood out to me a lot was the pacing of this movie. This is what I call TikTok brain pacing. If that makes sense. They're trying to appease the iPad babies. In other words, it doesn't like hold any shots. Like we don't have any time to think. You're not allowed to think if you're watching this movie, which is good sometimes. You know, sometimes you want to go and escape and just kind of live in this world and take it all in. And that's exactly what this is. The way that they shoot you into the story, you feel like you're going in light speed and everything's just flying by 1,000 miles an hour. But it slows down a little bit eventually, but still super fast paced compared to anything I've seen recently. So let's get into the acting. I'm going to count Kong as an actor. It was actually pretty cool how they were able to convey what he was thinking, just with facial expressions and sound effects. If there's any character we get emotionally attached to, it's Kong. We really just follow his journey, and we care about Kong. And I didn't think I'd get attached to any characters within this movie. Next, Godzilla. Like I said, he's kind of an afterthought. He's kind of doing his own thing, fucking shit up on the surface. And I'm going to be honest, his like laser blast after watching Godzilla -1 was kind of disappointing. Something with the sound design, it didn't sound as cool, and it wasn't as like menacing, dramatic as I'd wanted it to be. But I might just be spoiled from that Godzilla -1 movie, which was great. If you're looking for a serious Godzilla movie, definitely go check that one out. But if you're just trying to turn your brain off and have a good time, check this one out. Okay, one real actor I'll mention here, Brian Tyree Henry. He was in Bullet Train, and he's a great actor. I really enjoy him as an actor. The role he played in this one was the comedic relief, which he was in the past within Bullet Train, but in this one he's playing more of a nerdy guy who has a podcast. His character isn't super likable, but you can tell he's pretty good at his craft, and I want to see him in some more movies besides ones like this where You're like, all right, I'm tired of the humans. Let's get to the action. When you're within these roles of Godzilla and Kong movies, you aren't the star of the show, and you just kind of have to know that and do your thing. King Kong has a Thanos snap glove within this movie, which I kind of appreciate. I always like a good upgrade within movies, especially like things like The Mandalorian when he gets new armor. So I like that aspect of this movie, but with that being said, I will say the writers were very self-aware, which is needed when making a movie this outrageous. Yeah, so the sound design, like I said, I was disappointed with Godzilla's like nuke breath. If you saw the Godzilla -1 movie, go check it out just for the nuke breath. It's insane. But other than that, I just think the sound design was overpowered by the music. The music, I think something was weird with the audio levels, but it kind of muffled the sound effects, which kind of took away from some cool moments that potentially could have had some more juice. One thing I will say that was good about the sound design was just the interaction between the monsters. They're believable sounds. They probably mic'd up some silverbacks for this thing, potentially. I don't know. And then, like I said, the music kind of overpowered the sound effects. There was some like random 80s music playing throughout this movie. I love 80s. 80s is my favorite genre. The oldies, the classics. They were playing some of those within here, and they felt a little out of place, like they were trying to be Guardians of the Galaxy or something. Especially if someone was in a helicopter or a spaceship, they're trying to replicate something from like Apocalypse Now or Guardians of the Galaxy, like I mentioned. But all in all, this was a decent time at the theaters. I wouldn't recommend it to everybody, but if you're just trying to escape for a little bit, trying to have a good time, eat some popcorn, get your cherry Coke rolling, this might be the movie for you. The rating, I'll give it a 2 out of 5. I was thinking lower when it first started just because of the pace of it. But then once we got introduced to the main villain, who I didn't mention, and I'll leave it up to you to get introduced to, the villain is pretty badass. And I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of sweet. It's got some cool body language. Shout out the visual effect artist for that. But yeah, it's always fun to have a good bad guy within these monster movies. But felt like a fever dream a little bit. Kind of everywhere with the action. You don't know which plot line to follow, but you know it's all going to meet up at some point. And it did as a major boss battle. And this isn't Godzilla versus Kong, it's Godzilla x Kong. So they team up as you saw in the trailer. And they kick some ass together. Go check it out. Form your own opinion. I would recommend it to everyone. Go get some popcorn. Go check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Why not leave a like on the video? We'd appreciate it a lot. Let me know if there's any other movies you want us to go see. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Appreciate y'all. See ya.